Okay guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Okay, meron tayong kahit papaano good news para sa mga temporary foreign workers, specifically those in rural areas. Okay, naglabas po ng press release ang IRCC announcing some adjustments sa implementation ng TFW program in select rural towns. Yan ang ating pag-uusapan kasama ang ating suki si Attorney Lou, who by the way has his own YouTube channel now, guys. Okay, pumunta kayo doon. Ang dami niyong matututunan doon. Hamak na mas marami kaysa dito. Okay,
Sobra
doon
ka.
kayo manood
Sobra
rin.
ka. Hindi. Ano yun, ikaw, mas marami kang topic and broad conversations. Yung sa akin, nagsisimula pa lang ako. And yung sa akin kasi nakafocus talaga sa immigration, pero hindi naman siya yung parang mabilisan. Hindi ko rin kaya mag-break ng stories kagaya mo, my God. Meron akong mga obligasyon din sa mga clients ko.
Oo, sige. Basta guys, I tell you, nako, panoorin nyo lalo na yung latest episode niya with Attorney Mark Holty. Nako, napaka-insightful. Iba talaga pag mga immigration lawyers ang nagsasalita tungkol sa immigration policy. Okay, anyway, ito po yung bagong press release. Okay, issued or published March 13, 2026. Isa-summarize ko na lang thank you to ChatGPT, pina-summarize ko sa kanya to. Nasa na nga ba? Okay,
Yes.
Basically, alam nyo naman, yung employers, may limit lang din po kasi sa bilang ng mga TFWs na pwede nilang i-hire relative sa total number ng kanilang mga empleyado. Okay, so according to this press release, sige na nga, ito na nga, babasahin ko yung part na yon. Ayan, okay. At the request of provinces and territories, the Government of Canada will permit rural employers to retain their current number of low-wage temporary foreign workers and temporarily increase the allowable share of low-wage temporary workers from 10% to 15% of their workforce in eligible rural regions. Okay, these measures can be implemented within 2 weeks of a positive request from a province or territory. May kailangan pang gawing request yung province or territory and could begin as early as April 1, 2026. The measures will remain in place until March 31, 2027. Okay. In a way, this is good news kasi may leeway for those, siguro yung mga ilang TFW in rural towns na nangangambang, because of the restrictions, baka hindi na ako i-renew kasi hindi na ako afford i-hire pa. Wala nang room itong aking employer for TFWs. So hindi. From 10% of the workforce, tataasan to 15%. Pwedeng i-retain yung current TFW employees niya. Okay, Attorney Lou, I'm sure some might see this development as a sign. So punta ba akong rural town ngayon dahil baka mas maraming lamia akong mahahanap doon ngayon? What does this mean for those people thinking that?
That's a really good insight, and I would generally agree na ito ay strategy for people who need to buy time. Kasi I'm coming in from a perspective of PR, strategic immigration planning with permanent residence as your end goal. The problem right now is if you're not competitive with the current slate of programs that we have, you kind of do need to buy yourself some time. So typically that means that you have to stay on as a foreign worker in Canada. And how you do that is you apply for a work permit, but we all know na ang work permit, hindi to pwedeng isubmit na walang kasamang LMIA in order to support it, diba? Lalo na yung mga patapos na yung permits, ginagawa nila, kailangan yung employer nila nakapag-submit na ng LMIA para pag-submit ng kanilang extension ando na ideally. Although I know that you talked about yung yung dummy na tawag ninyo ni Diana, or others call it an empty work permit application. So yeah, yung empty work permit application nga, it's a means to extend na in anticipation of an LMIA approval. So anyway, yun yung landscape na tinatrabuhan natin. So to your question, kailangan bang mag-flock na to rural areas? Depende po yan sa sitwasyon ninyo. Kasi kung yung sitwasyon ninyo calls for truly an extension of your work permit at wala na talaga kayong option and there's an option that opens up in the rural areas, gawa nga na allegedly lumuwang ang LMIA application process for some regions. Kung papayag yung province, then maybe this is your shot to extend your stay in Canada.
Maybe hindi namin sinasabing go. Oo.
Oo, maybe yan. Kasi una, kakalkulahin mo yan eh. Paano kung yung region na pinupuntahan mo, wala ka rin PR pathway, di ba? So, baka you're buying yourself some time, tapos yun pala, you're doing yourself some long-term damage. Kasi in the end, hindi din pala makaka-afford sa'yo ng PR strategy to. So, you really have to analyze what this leads to, in other words.
Oo, okay. I think siguro it will benefit more those who are already there, no? Itong announcement na ito.
Potentially, yes.
Oo, less sa mga nag-iisip pa lang lumipat. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now,
Yeah.
do you really think so this only means also that marami siguro talagang mga rural towns ang nakikiusap sa IRCC. Okay, na kailangan talaga nilang mga TFW. Siyempre, that is, kumbaga, contradicting yung narrative ng mga ilang politiko, specifically those from the conservatives, na, by the way, kanina lang nakita ko, I will put it up, nananawagan yung MP, yung shadow immigration minister na si MP Michelle Rempel-Garner na
Yeah.
i-abolish yung TFW program. They are reviving that call because, guys, coincidentally, I think yesterday, may lumabas na bagong unemployment rate from Statistics Canada saying na, nasa na ba yung balita? Meron ako niyan eh. Tumaas muli daw yung unemployment rate for the month of... Yan, ito, ayan. Ay, hindi ko pala na-upload.
Thank you for putting it up.
Here you go. Ayan.
Today
lang dito published. Okay.
National yan. So, ang tanong dito, kailangan tignan natin yung regional breakdown. Kasi limbawa, Winnipeg went down to 5.7%, which meant that LMIAs were back in the menu for them. So, kung yung Winnipeg unemployment umakyat naman above 6%, ibig sabihin suspended na naman yung LMIAs. In principle, from a procedural fairness perspective, dapat yung mga na-submit before the new policy kicks in, dapat continue yung process nun. Pero we don't know, di ba?
Right.
Lalo na may sweeping powers ang minister, di ba? Soon.
Oo. Okay, teka, babasahin lang natin tong detalye ng report na to, no? So, in February, Canada's economy lost 84,000 jobs. Unemployment rate tumaas daw to 6.7%. Tapos ito yung reaction ni MP Michelle Rempel-Garner dyan. No? Sabi niya, Higher Canadian abolish the TFW program, stop issuing hundreds of thousands of new foreign student work permits when millions on expired visas remain in Canada. Remove non-citizens in Canada whose visa has expired. Consider the impact of AI and the weak economy in immigration levels. Okay, tama ba yung kanyang pagsisi sa TFW program dito sa pagtaas ng unemployment rate and yung job losses amounting to 80,000+ for the month of February?
Himayin natin. I don't, matagal na naman nilang pinupush yung abolition ng TFW program. And I know what they're trying to do in terms of like political positioning in this regard. Pero even in staunchly conservative ridings across the country, malaki ang opposition ng mga business owners, especially the small business owners across the country in rural and conservative ridings. They are not a fan of abolishing the TFW completely.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
This is not to say that I am anti-conservative or pro-liberal here. If you've watched some of Ina's videos, alam naman ninyo na I criticize kahit sino, diba? When they deserve criticism. Pero to kasing parang knee-jerk reaction na pag-abolish that something doesn't work. Wow. Wow. Diba? Diba parang, ano ipapalit mo, ma'am? Yun ang tanong ko.
Correct, oo.
Hire Canadian daw.
Um,
Eh, yun nga yung punto ng TFW, di ba? In places where you can't find uh, a person to hire because there's not enough Canadians or permanent residents in Canada that are willing to do that job, then these employers need to turn to the foreign market, foreign labor pool. And if the program is implemented as it is on paper, enforcement is done properly, yung caps nire-respect talaga. So ibig sabihin, alam mo yun, mami-minimize yung mga salutary effects or yung negative effects na ayaw ni MP Garnel, Ramper Garnel. And I don't disagree with her na yes, may impact yung TFW program with unemployment for sure. Pero parang yung knee-jerk reaction, it's not really serious policy. It's such an unserious sloganeering style of like politicking na parang kung napunta ka sa gobyerno, talaga bang gagawin mo yan? Yun yung tanong ko eh. Parang realistic ba yung ganyan na ito pa ang gusto nating gobyerno? Parang ganun eh. Parang ganun yung nangyayari. Ito kasi, yung point ko dito, I'm not sure if you guys follow politics, pero if you see leader Pierre Poilievre, and this is not a criticism of him, but rather an observation, nakita niyo nag-shift yung kanyang tono ng pananalita about government of Canada, about the Liberals, about Canada in general. Medyo mas naging positive yung kanyang messaging. Mas nagiging prime ministerial siya para ipresenta nga ang sarili niya as more of government in waiting. Kasi totoo naman, opposition parties are governments in waiting. Pero kasi with parang knee-jerk, almost troll-like reactions, parang hindi seryoso. So parang nawawalan lalo ng credibility itong si MP Garnel. Parang sayang kasi she could add something super positive to the discussion. I would encourage MP Garnel to actually go to the rural communities and talk to the employers. Baka maiba yung position niya. Unless talagang dead set siya dun sa slogan.
Oo. Actually, alam mo, itong press release na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, mentions, no, this is according from Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, which manages, the TFW program. 1% lang ng total workforce ng Canada ang TFW, ang representative. Workers hired through the TFW program represent approximately only 1% of Canada's workforce and help support key sectors such as agriculture, food processing, construction, and healthcare. Ayan.
Correct. Di ba napag-usapan natin yan na separate episode na actually yung perception na napakadaming TFWs is actually owing to the IMP, the International Mobility Program. Nandito kasi yung bulk ng mga work permits na open, like spousal open work permits, postgrad work permits, di ba? So there's higher visibility. So the 1% is accurate insofar as the LMIA-based work permits are concerned.
Yeah.
Pero ang dami nating PGWPs, dami nating SOWPs. But keep in mind, there's a lot of them expiring this year.
Right. Oo. Ay, nako. Oo nga. Gagawa ulit ako ng bagong topic or episode tungkol dyan. Guys, before we end this episode, let me stress eligible rural regions lang. Okay? Mag-a-apply itong bagong in-announce na 10% to 15% of their workforce pwedeng i-hire through TFWs. That means siguro ang tabayanan natin baka merong separate article discussing the guidelines, sinong rural regions ang mga ito. Hindi lahat. Okay?
Well, Ina, nandiyan ako sa built-in na dyan sa paragraph na yun mismo yung simula at the request of provinces or territories.
Yun,
so, ang tanong dito, which provinces are going to ask the federal government to open the gates, di ba? Right. So, this will be very interesting kung sino yung magre-request niyan, di ba? Right. It can happen as early as April 1, pero we have to wait for announcements just like you said. So, so in other words, before people start criticizing this, before knee-jerk reactions of canceling the TFWs, tignan natin kung ano sasabihin ng mga provinces. Right. Kasing slogan, MP Garnel, ba yan? You know better than that, my goodness.
All right. Okay, guys abangan natin. But in a way, at least some reprieve for the foreign workers no in rural towns na parang nangangamba, malay nyo, ito na yung magiging pagkakataon ninyo to renew your contracts, to find another Lamia for your employers. No? Okay, so that is it. We will end this episode here. Thank you so much, Attorney Lou, for your insights as always. We'll end this episode here. Bye!
Take care.